Me again. This time I'm renovating steel gutters and drain pipes. Old 1930s drain pipe that I've been breaking the paint off. There's the hopper head. Just been using a chisel and just tapping away at the paint, basically. Seems to be the best way to do it. Alternatively, you can use a blowtorch and scrape the paint back. Be careful of the fumes. Just for finishing off, I'm just using a chisel. Can't demonstrate it very well, but you just tap against the paint and it should crack and fall off. Once you've done that, you need to get a wire brush on an angle grinder and give it a quick whiz over. And then once you've done that, I've washed this all down with hot soapy water just to get rid of all the grease and oils and stuff like that. And then I'm going to metal prime it with a good quality metal primer. Try and get as much paint and rust off as you can. Wire brushing is quite effective. I think the wire brush on the angle grinder is the most effective. And try and get all your paint off first. As you can see next to the drain pipe, I've been renovating this windowsill. Renovating 1930s houses is a long, painstaking task, but basically the frame was semi-alright down to about here, and as you can see I've taken out the rotten wood at the bottom and scarfed in a new bit, just screwed it back into the old rotten wood and then filled around it, painted it, etc. These bits are just holes where it's cracked. A lot of filler went into the sill. I put damp wood hardener onto the sill, and then I've put a lot of high grade wood filler, but after a few months some fine cracks appeared, so I've just dug them out, put some hard wet rot hardener in there again, and I'm going to fill those again. It's just kind of shrinkage as the new filler meets the old wood. It shrinks a bit and cracks, and so you have to go back and redo it slightly. There's only a certain amount you can do when renovating houses of this age. As you can see, this window box is just beyond repair. We thought about tacking on some bits of wood, but realised that it's just too far gone, and we're going to get a new one made and put it in place with a new roof. Just a temporary gutter there at the moment. With this house, the previous tenants, you can see a gutter I've done up there. That's primer metal paint. The previous tenants let all these copings go, and I've repointed them. But before that, the rain got in and got behind all this render. You can see these big cracks that have appeared. They also painted it really badly with some crappy paint that's peeling off. So we're going to have to repair these cracks with the resin and repaint it. But we've got to scrape off all the paint as well. There's a window that had a new frame put in. We took the old metal window out, repainted it, reglazed it, had a new frame. That window was the same as that one, and we filled and sanded the sill and repaired the metal crystal window. It's a lot of work. It's worth it to keep the character of the house. So I'm using Ronseal wood filler, high performance wood filler. It's about 10 quid from B&Q. When I use this stuff, I get a flat piece of wood and use it like a pallet. I find it a lot easier. This is like gooey fat stuff. So I'm going to add some hardener. So I'm just going to chuck it in these holes and let that go off. It's quite tricky if you're not used to using filler to get it in. Try and demonstrate whilst filming at the same time, which isn't the easiest thing. if you get you don't want to play around with it too much, so just chuck it in there, and you kind of have to sculpt it a bit, leave it a bit proud. Try and use the filler that's on the knife. So just take a bit off the top so you don't have too much to sand back, and then use that onto the next hole. Like so. Don't play around with it too much. Once it's in, it's in. Sorry about my camera work, it's not the easiest thing to do, is film and fill at the same time. I'm doing my best. Scouts honour. And you don't want to mix up too much filler because it goes off very quickly and you won't be able to use it at all. So yeah, that's pretty much there. Any filler that you don't properly mix, like I've done before, is left soft, and you really don't want that because you're going to get little soft patches if you don't mix the filler properly with the hardener. So make sure you give it a good stir beforehand. Alright, let's let that go off. So one of the tricky things with renovation old windowsills is this, you've got to keep a drip detail, otherwise the water's going to carry on coming in. And I've tried to create one with a filler. Sorry, it's a bit out of focus, which is a difficult task. You have to be a bit of a sculptor, but you basically work the filler in and then kind of try and get a mini sander or a knife or something, cut it back. Yeah, this is sort of problems with renovations. You know, like many things, you know, you just come across lots of broken bits and you kind of think, what the hell do you do with that? The journey continues. This window's been renovated. Luckily the steel, these are old metal Crittall windows, the steel frame is still in good nick. So I just took that out, unscrewed it, used a blowtorch on the screws and a good bit of elbow grease and got the screws out. And then took it out, cleaned it back, primed it, painted it. But still, you still get little rust spots coming through, which is a bit demotivating, but I think it's worth keeping original features rather than just ripping it out and putting in a PVC window like you can see over there, which just looks shit. Try and keep your old windows if you can. So there's the finished article. I've sanded back the sill and given it one coat of gloss. Give it another coat today at some point.